Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee and Darts, episode 87. We're getting close to episode 100. I'm excited about that. Hey, if you're here, got your coffee and ready to go. On this show, we talk about darts, and we talk to darts players and people in the darts community, and occasionally just someone from the blue. And we talk to them about darts because this is Coffee and Darts. I'm your host, Matthew. Thanks for catching this morning's show. I'm excited about this one. Super, super excited. How do I put this in perspective? Outside of the cool new digs, this is the version 3 jersey. Thank you, Jennifer Mounts. Got little birds down here, coffee in it. This comes from Magicwear, which is one of our wonderful sponsors. So Jennifer Mounts and Magicwear. Again, super excited about this morning, the interview that I got to do. Of course, this is a recording. It was done last Friday. And it took a lot of work to wrangle this one in. It's been an incredible process. But first, I want to thank Shot Darts. Shot Darts, of course, makes incredible barrels and other great products. Like their dartboards, I don't think they get enough credit for that. I believe they created the blade types of blade. I can't really say blade, can I? The shot in little the wire spider. I'm gonna get it sooner or later, man. I haven't had enough coffee yet this morning. It is bright and early here in Southern California. It's actually sunny out already. Just for those of you that are living in Snow, Missouri. Anyway. Shot, thank you so much for being a sponsor of the show and creating incredible barrels, pieces of art that we get to throw. Now, if you haven't seen the new Zen lineup, I've had a couple people comment and say, hey, look, this isn't the typical Shot we're used to. It's not as artistic. It's kind of the idea. It's the Zen lineup. It's not as intricate, and yet it has great playability. They've done incredible weighting of the barrels. And I like the cuts that they have put in. They're very simple. So take a look at the Zen lineup by Shot, new release on that. There's some other really cool barrels that are coming out and some new player barrels since they have signed some new players this year. Also want to thank Condor Flights and Shafts. I play the Condor Axe personally. Dylan plays the Condor Axe personally. And it looks like a number of other professionals, because I'm a pro. Didn't you guys know? But there are a number of professionals that are playing their system now and finding a lot of success with it. Jose de Sousa to be one of those. Also, Mr. Holdman, just want to point out that I just watched Mr. Whitlock, who looks like he's playing an axe type of flight shaft combination, beat MVG this morning in Super Series 12, and is off to the semifinals. So good luck to Mr. Whitlock with that one. All righty. We've thanked our sponsors. Let me tell you a little bit about this particular interview and what it took to make this happen, because it was a lot of work, guys. I wrangled up a person that has never been interviewed before, has been asked to be interviewed by the likes of the New York Times, the LA Times, the PDC. Like, I actually had the PDC reach out to me and say, hey, can we run that interview? Like, we'll pay you to run the interview on our broadcast. Can we get that? The Australian Times, which I don't think there is one, but they reached out to me begging again to use this. It has been like a global herd of people saying, hey, we understand that you were able to get this interview done. Could we please? Phil Taylor himself stopped by my house and said, hey, someone needs this. The PDC needs this. Could you please? And I said, no, it's for my fans on Coffee and Darts. All right. Enough joking aside. I did have an opportunity to interview someone that no one has interviewed yet, so I'm excited about that. Let's get into that interview. I think you guys will be happy to see that. Hopefully you're watching Super Series over pdc.tv. Almost said .com. If you are not, it's on. Don't watch it right now, but watch it. And it's really inexpensive. There are people out there stealing the stream and playing it on Facebook and things of that nature. It's not expensive to get. Very honestly, it's not expensive. And I mean, I kind of understand the concept behind all of that, but at the same time, throw a couple bucks to the PDC. It goes to players. It goes to incredible games. Yo, dude, what's up? Hold on a second. We got video game questions coming in. Yeah, what can I do for you?
What I'm saying is because...
Gotta make it quick, though, man. I'm live. You need some help with Pokemon?
I need to go into there because when I ask him, it says that the doors are locked.
It says the gym is already closed.
Oh, it's closed.
Yeah, so that gym's closed right now.
Oh, I thought it was.
Yeah.
Locked.
Cool. We gotta work on some reading stuff, right?
Yeah.
All right, later, dude. Sorry about that. It was really, really important Pokemon question. Whew. All right, let's get into this interview. I'm excited about it. If you guys have not realized who it is, I got the opportunity to interview Mr. Michael Holdman himself. And those that watch this show and that are fans of darts understand who this gentleman is, what he means to the sport that has grown in the pandemic year as far as all of this video type stuff that we see happening. Even for myself, I mean, I was doing review stuff, and a little bit of live stuff, but to really take it to where I'm doing a weekly show and all that, it was up here to do. But I will say that in the pandemic year, it just kind of became a reality. Gentleman, I think has helped a lot of people in a lot of ways just by being such a huge support for a lot of these channels like myself or streamers or just darts in general. This is a gentleman that is incredible when it comes to just his desire to help grow this sport. And he's got an incredible voice, and I really think he should be doing this far more than I should. But let's get into this. This is an interview that I was excited to do. And Michael Holdman, as far as I'm concerned, is a friend. We've never physically hung out, but we have hung out virtually, playing darts and so forth. But this is a guy that I would give the shirt off my back any day of the week if he called and said, hey, my family needs this, or I need this, or hey, like this just happened. I need to talk to someone 24/7. I would be there for this guy. So let's go ahead and I'm going to get this going here and we will watch this interview. Incorrectly. My bad. Let's try it this way. Sorry, guys. Totally my fault. How's your morning going as I set this up? Hopefully it's going well. Hopefully you guys are enjoying yourself. Good thing I didn't put this on and walk away. That would have really sucked. Let's see. Where is this guy? Where is this review? Oh, there it is. All right, here we go. Here, sorry about that. All right, everybody. As you can see, it is Michael Holdman. That is our special guest with us this morning. And I got to tell you, I am so excited, overly excited that Michael chose me, our show here, Coffee and Darts. I know that the New York Times reached out to him. I know the LA Times. I know that GQ was trying to get a hold of him. The PDC, Wayne Martel himself, flew out to Michael's house and begged him to be in his book and to interview him. And Michael said, no, the only place I'm going to do my first world premiere interview is right here on Coffee and Darts. So, Michael, thank you so much for being on the show. I am so excited that you chose us for your very first interview.
How are you, Matt? Thank you so much.
I'm good, man.
That's some intro. I'm just a kid from Brooklyn.
Just a kid from Brooklyn. I'm just a kid from, California, excited to have you on, man. I'm like, I know people have been knocking down your door. I know. So, yeah. Hey, so I'm excited to have you on the show because I know, like, everybody that kind of watches this show and that's in the darts community that we all hang out in, the family of darts that we has grown tremendously over the last year. You're involved in all of the aspects of it. You do an incredible job just pumping us all up, those of us that are doing video stuff, those of us that are doing the live matches, and you just support. And it's such an honor to have you on this show. So I'm very thankful that you're here.
I'm so happy to be here, and it's something I love to do. I mean, I would call myself a super fan. I'm a super fan of darts. I'm a super fan of the streamers. I'm a super fan of Atomic Darts and Soft Tip Central UK, USA, DPFL, Neil's Darts, Kieran over at Scotch Lad does dart reviews. I love to watch what they put out. It's entertaining, it's informative, and it's very personable to be in those chats. You always respond to me. Kieran and Neil and Roy, let me tell you, I mean, it's like I'm having a conversation like we are right now.
Yeah, and that's kind of been the beauty. I remember the first kind of comments that I got from you, and it was exciting. Like, you wrote these books, and I was like, this is awesome. This guy's watching the entire video, and he's commenting on anything that I say, and that just did a huge amount for me. Like, I would wait to see those comments over on the YouTube stuff, and then the 18 hours of darts that I did. You hung in for like all 18 hours. I'm curious what you did all day during that, but you literally were commenting in a part of that show for the entire 18 hours. I know Roy was in for the majority of that, and there were a couple other guys that like kind of hung in, but you were literally like that last couple of hours, which was midnight to 3 o'clock for you. You were, hey, Matt, let's do this game. Hey, Matt, let's do this. Hey, Matt, let's do that. So much appreciated.
I enjoyed that stream so much. I've never contemplated that anyone could play 18 hours of darts straight. And I was trying to imagine what you might come up with. And I said, I want to see. I have to see what you're going to do. And I put you on my phone. I got a lot done that day. I cleaned my garage. I brought you into the shower. I cleaned myself. I made it all the way. And I made it a point to comment every half hour. And my son was having trouble sleeping. And he came on with me and I said, watch this. And I typed up, I said, hey, Matt, throw a 9, a 20, and a 1. And you read my comment and you went for it. And my son was blown away. And pretty soon my son started picking numbers. And he got such a great kick out of it.
That was fun. And yeah, it was an interesting event for 18 hours. And the hardest part of that event for me was that I couldn't play music because of YouTube and streaming issues. And like, I wanted to play music in the background, stuff that I like to listen to. I'm like, I can't do that because they would just delete the video. I mean, it wouldn't even work. So that was probably the hardest part. But the best part was like you and Roy and everybody just kind of commenting, especially that last little section there. You guys hanging in there, and I hugely appreciated that. So thank you very much for that. And your son, it was cool. Have him be a part of it as well.
It was fantastic. It really was. I thought you were going to say the hardest part was wearing that Spartan helmet and trying to throw darts.
No, that's right. I did wear the Spartan helmet. No, that was a little difficult, I will say, because that helmet doesn't sit very well. Now that I know that I was in the shower with you, I'm a little weirded out, but that's okay. It's all right. Okay. I'm good with it. Did I see anything I wasn't supposed to see? I mean, how did this go?
The camera went one way, my friend.
Okay, good. Hey, I'm curious. Like, so I know that you're into the darts and you love the darts and you're a good darts player because I've played you once and we're gonna get into playing some soft tip here soon, which I'm excited about. Yes. When did you get into darts? Like, what's the journey for you as far as getting into darts and playing darts?
I was given my first set of darts in 8th grade for a Christmas gift. I got a set of unicorns. And we put up a dartboard. We had, this one bedroom apartment, and we effectively took down a mural to put up a dartboard. And it was just simply toying around. Can you hit a number? Effectively call out a number. But it's not like throwing a football. It's not like throwing a baseball. And that's where I was at that time in my life. But it was my first exposure to darts. And then we'll fast forward to my senior year of high school. I graduated from Severian High School in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. And I had to take a gap year after graduation. I was accepted to all my colleges, but I didn't have my ducks in a row to immediately go to school. So I got a job in the city, and I got a job in Bay Ridge. And right then and there, it's just bar darts. Me and my buddies playing for pints, having a great time. And a guy came up to me and said, "Hey, Mike, I need an alternate. I need someone to fill in." And that was my first exposure to true structured competition. And he taught me everything, how to play cricket. 501, I didn't even know what 501 was until that time. Then when I completed that gap year, I went to school at Stony Brook University out in Long Island. And that's where I meet my roommate, one of my best friends in the whole world, LJ Nordesha. And he loved darts as much as I did. And immediately the dartboard goes up, and we threw a lot of darts. Any excuse not to study, any excuse not to clean the room, we were throwing darts. And we had our favorite watering hole right on the other side of the campus. A train tracks ran across that, and it was called the Park Bench. And they ran a dart tournament every Tuesday night, open tournament. They had a one-man band. He would stop to play in the tournament, and it was just, all comers. I won that tournament quite a few times, probably about, 9 or 10 times in a row. So I was winning these $25 gift certificates. So now my popularity went right through the roof, because now I have these gift certificates and everyone got free beer, all these poor college students. So after that, I met my wife. We get married. I moved to Yonkers, and there's LJ again. LJ says, "Mike, come on, we're going to go play." And I got this place in Kennedy's in Dobbs Ferry. Then we went and played at PJ's Pub on Yonkers Avenue. And that's where the crossroads were, because there's some great players coming up from the Bronx. I mean, when I tell you, sharp shooters. And that was my exposure to the next level. And we made noise there, and we made the playoffs, never brought home the gold, but we were just introduced to some really great shots. And then I know I made a comment on your interview with Dax and Jen Mounts about dartitis, and that is when that damn gremlin got a hold of me, and I could not shake it. I would contract my arm, and it was a failure to launch. Could not go forward. So I switched to lefty, and I became proficient shooting lefty. But the team said, no, you're going to play pairs. You can't play singles. You're never going to make it. And that was the end. I put my darts down. And it was tough. It was tough to put the darts down. Even recreationally, I still couldn't get back to right-handed. And now we fast forward 17 years, and I get back into darts after all that time. I'm playing men's basketball in leagues. I'm playing men's softball. And 17 years later, I'm 44 years old, and my body goes, you can't run, jump, and shoot. You can't get around first and stretch it to a double. And you sure as hell can't squat behind the plate. Your knees are shot. And there I go. I call up LJ again. I go, LJ, I'm getting back into darts. What do you say? And he had a buddy, and he got me into a place. It's called the Firehouse Grill in Peekskill, New York. And our captain, Sean Coyne, LJ, myself, Colleen Flower, John Devaney, Mike S., Mikey Bones, as I like to call him, and Jim Cronin. And we were the hosers. And that's when I discovered coffee and darts, because I became a dart geek. And so now we lead up into the pandemic, and here we are. And and it's been a hell of a run.
Yeah. So what I take from all of that is like, there's two things outside of all the cool names, man. Like here in California, we don't have all these cool street names, like all the names that you guys have. And like, I just envision, just the Bronx, and it's kind of like Batman era and all this. And you like have, you say everybody's name and their last name. Like here, we don't do that. It's like, hey, that's Mike over there. Hey, that's Bob. We don't, like, I don't even know last names of some of my friends that I've been friends with for years. I'm like, oh, that's your last name? I never knew that. So I love that. But the two things I take away is, one, this gap year where you partied between high school and college, and you're like, I just had to take a gap year. Like, come on. Like, you were like, dude, I'm partying before I go to school. I like it. And I was afraid that you said you got dartitis when you were watching the episode with those guys. But our dartitis happened, and then you took a break, and now you're back to darts. So we're good there. So that's what I took away from that, just so you know. So dartitis. So like, I'm curious, this is a conversation that you and I have had, and that I've had with others. And of course, it's been talked about. Jen and Dax have talked about it, and they're actually going to be coming back on the show to discuss more about dartitis and some of the mental aspects of it. But like, how did that, like, did you know that it was dartitis back then, or is that something you learned after the fact? Has it been an issue that like has come back, reared its ugly head, so to speak? Can you talk a little bit about that for those that might be struggling with it, and how did you get through it?
When it happened to me, the term dartitis didn't exist. It was called the yips, and everyone was shocked, especially me. Why am I not able to extend my arm? And for me, it was purely mental. I gotten to the point where, and people have heard me use this term before, I'm trying to split atoms. I'm up there and I'm aiming at a very specific point on the board, and I have to hit that speck. I'm not hitting the treble, as a general area. I have picked out a speck to hit, and my brain and my arm disconnected. And it was really, really difficult. And I know it was purely mental, because once I switched to lefty, with a little bit of practice, I was, like I said, I got proficient. Not very competitive. That's why I was in pairs. But that dartitis, and that's why I describe it as a gremlin. I mean, it came out of nowhere. And the only thing that seemed to have cured it was all that time off and not thinking about it. All that time off, I wasn't thinking about darts. I was going on with my life. My wife and I had two great kids, Ryan and Kyle, and life happened. But once competition physically stopped and I picked up my darts again, my brain and my arm got back together. They were back in sync, and I was so pleased because I didn't know what to expect when I bought my first darts. So since you've been back playing darts, have you seen it kind of come back? Do you ever find yourself kind of struggling with that attitude of like, hey, I need to hit this, and there's kind of the feel of it, or has it just been totally okay and like no issues at all? As far as throwing, there's no issues. I'm very cognizant of that it can come back. And if you remember my comment, I said, and this is the last time I ever want to talk about it, because thinking about it may invite it to come back. And what I think I've effectively done is I've tinkered so much. I haven't changed my arm, but I have changed my grip quite a bit, and had different ways of doing it that way, so that it's tricking my muscles. But I might be doing that, unconsciously, but I am very aware of it. It has not come back, but I worry about it because I'm a worrywart when it comes to that. When something that creeps into your life, you try to go, well, I remember how far did I take my arm back? And then it locked, and you avoid it. I think I just had start enjoying it and start thinking about it less.
So it's purely mental. It's not necessarily a physical ailment that's come in or something of that nature. It was purely a physical or mental issue for you. Um, I don't want to talk too much more about that because again, I don't want the gremlins to kick in and we can kind of get off that subject. Let's jump into and I do want to talk about, because everybody that's watching, Mike's got a great. Do you like Mike or Michael? I've never known. It's like it's a question we all have.
I very rarely get called Michael, so I like it when I hear it.
Okay, so also Michael. I know that you have this event coming up where you're going to be raising some money, and that's really what this is all about. But before we get into talking about that and who it's for and what it's all about, I want to talk a little bit about steel tip and soft tip, because I know that you've predominantly been this steel tip player. You and I have done that. You did a Bullseyes and Brewskis, which those guys are fully soft tip. Like Roy, and here's a hint, guys. Roy owns a steel tip board. Roy owns steel tip darts, and he throws steel tip when he's playing soft tip. So cat's out of the bag. Sorry, Roy. We know you actually like steel tip. But you did this event, you came onto their show, the Bullseyes and Brewskis show, and you threw steel tip while they did soft tip. So it was like steel tip versus grand board, and they had a cool way of scoring it and making it work. And I know that you're doing some soft tip stuff now. Kind of tell us like what your feeling is about it. You're kind of getting into soft tip. How's it been, and are you enjoying the larger segments?
When I found your show and Roy got involved, and I found out that he's about soft tip, we did our steel tip versus soft tip, and it was a great time. And I watched their stream.
Wait a second. Who won that? Just out of curiosity. Did. You did? Okay, I just want to point that out. Okay.
Now I have to be honest with you. I'm glad that Roy is such a credible guy, because he was watching me on his phone and telling everybody what I hit and then punching it into the soft tip board. So if the community didn't think so highly of Roy, it might have been I didn't throw that ton 80 when we played, but. When we played, it was fantastic. It was my exposure to soft tip, and I was watching the stream. I've watched you play the Panda during your early time at Coffee at Darts. I fell into Soft Tip Central, USA and UK, and I said, I got to buy it. I have to just pull the trigger and get it. And I got it in February, and I consider myself a true hybrid. I am now 50-50. I love soft tip just as much as I love steel tip. And I contribute that to Roy's exposure and Justin and Daniel Booth. I just find it fascinating. And truth be told, variety is the spice of life. So, I'm never going to be, oh yeah, soft tip or no, steel tip. Why not play it both? I have the best of both worlds. And I'm absolutely over the moon playing soft tip.
I'm kind of in the same boat. I mean, I love both of them. There's a different dynamic to each of them. When I play the soft tip, you're aiming at the bullseye, man. You can throw for the 180, but I'm going to hit a 150 way more often than I'm going to hit a 180. Yep. So I'm all about like the soft tip. But then when I go to steel tip, it's like, okay, I gotta bring the dart up and I gotta start throwing for the 180s. And there's just the dynamics of it, and for me it's a ton of fun, having a blast. And of course I've got the Dylan, my kid's littler, and so soft tip really works well for us, and he just learned averages. So of course we're playing in the Soft Tip Central USA tournament, which is like a year-long league situation, which I'm excited about. But so Dylan and I were talking about it, and we were talking about averages. I'm like, okay, I got to hit this much more so I can move up. Because right now I'm in a BB, and I'm like just there at hitting an A, and I can't, I'll make a progress, and the next day I'll throw a couple bad throws, and I'm like, crap. So he's gotten into averages, and so he's all about averages now. And it's been fun. I'm glad that you got the soft tip board. I'm glad that you're enjoying both of them. Let's be honest here. If you had to pick one or the other, or is it just you're 50-50 down the line?
To represent Brooklyn, I'll say steel tip. But you know what? I don't live in Brooklyn anymore. I live here in Westchester, and I'm a streamer guy. I love my streamer boys. So Listen, I'm a pure hybrid. I love soft tip, and I think I'm a better player for playing both.
I would agree with you that it does. I think it makes you a better player, and I did like your very nice political answer there. You didn't step on anybody's. It was a good job there. So I appreciate that.
I'm running for office next year.
There you go. I think a lot of people are. You should come to California. Apparently, the governor's been ousted, and there are literally 42 people right now that are trying to apply to be the governor of California. Why? I don't know. But I don't know who would want to take that on. Okay, I want to dive in, into this event that you're doing. I want to spend some time talking about that. I want to get those that are watching involved as much as possible. I'm excited about this. I know that you've allowed me to jump in and get involved from a financial standpoint, and probably a prize standpoint to some degree. But I'm going to give you the floor if you want to explain what you're doing, who you're doing it for, and what this is about. If the floor is yours, go ahead and just have at it.
Well, we all are familiar with Daniel Booth and the Williams Foundation. And Daniel Booth out of Soft Tip Central has been very, very active in my life recently. He's just always reached out. He's been very supportive. He and Justin and Roy have sent me a gift that was so generous. But above that, when my son was doing his fundraiser for my brother Vinny, and you were so gracious enough to talk about that, Daniel and Justin and everybody in the whole darting community came out and donated for my son. And of course, I'm going to reciprocate. But I said, you know what? It's not enough just to go and click on a link. I want to do something. Particularly since I play steel tip so much, I want something dynamic. And so I came up with this little dartathon. So myself and two other shooters are going to go to our current watering hole. It's called the Back Nine Indoor Golf and Dining. And they have a dart team out of there. And I have two shooters from their dart team who are 7-time consecutive Westchester Putnam champions. So Mark Trainer is one of the shots. I'll be one of the shots, and I'll have a third shot. So we'll have Team Mike, Team Mark, and a team to be named probably tomorrow. And what we are going to do is we're going to go in concession and one after the other and shoot at the 20 segment for 4 minutes. And whoever's on Team Mike, if you pledge $1, just like a walkathon, every 20 I hit, you will contribute $1. So if I can get 15, 20 people to be on Team Mike, 15 or 20 people to be on Team Mark, and 15 to 20 people to be on my third team, you will only be responsible for that team. So the most out of pocket as an individual may be 20 if we get hot and we hit 20 20s in 4 minutes. And I'm very much hoping to be able to contribute generously from that. If enough people donate $1 or pledge $1 and be on the team, that would be wonderful. DPFL, Mark Wagan and Chris Clark, so gracious, so nice, reached out to me. They're going to host the stream at no cost to me, and they are going to contribute $100 as DPFL to the Williams Foundation for Daniel's cause. It's just a wonderful thing. If anybody would like to reach out to me, instant message is preferable, just once. If you'd like to pledge $1, I can put you on any one of the 3 teams. And my hope is that enough people are interested that I will be able to give a tally at the end of my little dartathon. It's only going to take about half an hour, and be able to click it over to the Williams Foundation. And I'm really excited to do it. We're going to do it on May 4th on a Tuesday night at 8 p.m.
So we've got May the 4th be with you. Dartathon. This is awesome. This is great. Now I have a question. So what if you hit a triple 20? Does that count as 3, or is it still a single?
Still a 3. We're 3, so
Okay.
technically
Okay.
you could get 9.
Okay.
But because we're shooting, consecutively, we're not on our own boards. We'll be shooting in a train.
Okay.
The odds of us hitting astronomical 20s is very low. So every individual will not feel like, oh man,
Yeah, it's $100 out of my pocket type of thing. So, this is awesome, and I, thank you for stepping up, because this was completely your idea. I know that you had mentioned it to me, and that you wanted to, come on to the show here and talk about it. Even though the world has been trying to get you to come on their shows, you picked us to represent this. And again, I'm extremely proud, and I'm so proud that here's what we here at Coffee and Darts and Atomic Darts will do is we will match. So, and I know you and I talked previously that I was just going to take whoever did the most match, but we're going to match. So for all 3 of you, we're going to match whatever that total is. So if it's $200 for all 3 of you combined, we'll match that. So we're going to match whatever that total is. So I'm going to be on your team, and whatever you hit, I'm hitting that, and then we'll match whatever that total number is.
That is outstanding, Matt. That is generous beyond what I could say in words. Thank you so much. You're just one of the greats.
Well, I don't know if I'm one of the greats, but I don't mind helping out good initiatives. So, and I think this is a big deal. So, again, May 4th, this is when this is going to go off, and it's going to be, I was going to say televised. It'll be Ubatized or Facebookatized, and you guys will be able to watch that. And that is due to the DPFL. So thank you to the guys over there for doing that. They're donating some money. So if someone who's watching this wants to get involved with this, there are some openings in regards to jumping on a team and having an opportunity. Now, are you capping the teams, or could you have 100 people?
Well, that would be extremely hard to keep track of and collect. So if you are interested and you instant message me and want to pledge $1, I will spread it across the 3 teams. I'm at this point, there is no cap, but I will, if there's overwhelming response, there will be a point where I will tell somebody, please just donate directly to the Williams Foundation. I'm at my max. I'm thinking that my max is probably about 20 to 25 people per team, if I'm even lucky to do that. But that would be an enormous amount. If I hit my average of about 15 and I had 20 people on my sheet pledging $1, $15 each, that's monumental.
Yeah.
So we'll see. You getting the word out and people instant messaging me, we'll see. And I believe the darting community that I'm a part of, that you have brought me into just by me discovering Atomic Darts and Coffee and Darts, I am certain I'm going to have a hard time keeping up with these instant messages.
Well, that's good, and that'll be awesome. I'm excited. I'm excited to see how this goes off, and hopefully we will raise the entire amount that Daniel's trying to raise, which is $2,121 because it's 2021. Hopefully we can raise all of that prior to him doing his 24 hours. So anything he makes during that 24 hours is just bonus on top. That's what I'm hoping for. And I do want to just stress, if anybody between now and I believe it's April 21st, I'm looking at it right now, May 22nd.
Right.
March, April. Yeah, that would have already. So May 22nd, anybody that donates $50 or 50 pounds, because I know it's different each way, but whoever donates that or more on the giving page and lets me know, I'm going to send you a set of the B52s, and I'm getting low on steel tip, so it may just be soft tip versions, but just want to throw that out there too, because we're trying to help out as much as we can. So
that's fantastic.
All right, let's get into some other darting stuff here. I got you for a few more minutes. Sure. Let's talk some PDC darts. I know you like the PDC darts. I'm going to ask you, who's your favorite, and who do you think is going to win World Championship this next January 1st?
Well, My absolute all-time favorite, after everything after I became a dart geek watching YouTube, I have to say Simon Whitlock is probably my favorite. I just dig him. I like his look. I like his intensity. I like that he shreds the board. I really do. Hey, you want to beat me? Make your dart stick. That's what I get. My favorite newcomer is Damon Hedda, though. I really like him. And for as far as winning the Worlds, I have to put my money on Gerwin Price again. I just think that, yeah, it's been unfortunate for him. He had COVID right when he was going to start playing again, and he's had a bit of a hiatus. But I think that's what he needed mentally too, because then he could ease right back in. I know everyone's going to get in their groove, but I'm going to pick for a two-peat.
Okay. And just to clarify, he tested positive once and then tested negative for 7 days straight because he posted that on social media, his testing every single day. So I think that was his frustrations with what happened. But I'm kind of in the same corner as you. I believe that he has the best chance of repeating when it comes to this next year. I always have my dark horses that I really like. Michael Smith is kind of my dark horse. I think this year is going to be a huge breakout year for him. I think he's pissed at this point, and if he just takes it and puts it in the right direction, he'll be world champion come the beginning of next year. So that's kind of where I stand. So I like it. Whitlock and Hedda. So you're Australian boy. Okay.
Yeah. Whitlock's always been on my radar, and now that he's changed his points and shreds boards, I'm like, I won't jump ship. But you can't argue with Damon Hedda's rookie season. Other than Durant's rookie season was outstanding, but Hedda's was up there.
Yeah. Oh, he's done phenomenal, and he's maintaining it, and it's going to be fun to watch him. Of course, we have Super Series. So you and I are doing this interview prior to Tuesday, so we have Super Series number 3 starting this weekend. I'm excited to see what happens there. It looks like everybody's pretty much confirmed. Haven't seen any news that anybody's not confirmed at this point. So I'm excited to see how this plays out. Now, have you been able to watch what's been going on with the Premier League, the first week and a half, 2 weeks kind of thing?
I watched the very beginning, and I watched, unfortunately, Durant lose twice in one night. And I felt bad. I felt really bad because to win the Premier League in your inaugural year, your rookie year, and then have that he got his teeth kicked in. I felt terrible. And since then, I've only caught whatever a ticket tape. DPFL will stream something, give results. But that was the only time I've actually set my eyes on the matches.
Okay. It's been exciting. I haven't watched as much this week as the first week. Like it was on continuously. But I will say, and what I have seen of MVG, he looks like he's gaining some form and he's getting excited about playing again. I think last year, just with the being away from his family and not knowing how to deal with that really played on him. And I think this year they've kind of figured it out. I don't know if his family's there, hanging out in the hotel with him. I don't know how they have that worked out. But he seems to be a little bit more at ease. I still think he's going to do well, but I don't think anybody fears him as much. I did want to ask you, what did you think about the replacement they pulled for Gerwin Price being in the machine? What did you think about that replacement over a Michael Smith or someone else?
He absolutely deserved it. I think that his career entitles him to leapfrog anybody. I really do. You just can't say, you're going to get quality out of him. So if you're going to replace somebody in the Premier League, grab him. Yeah. Michael Smith it's not that he's too unpredictable, but certainly what you're going to get from the machine, and people love him. So I believe he deserves it just out of respect and career stats.
Yeah. I think James Wade's really done. I mean, again, career stats wise, with 3 decades, he's been in the top 10 He may have dropped out once in that time frame, but I mean, the guy's just been very consistent. The machine, he's just consistent. He plays, and he's in the top 4 currently in the standings, so it was a good replacement. He's fumbled a little there, but then he gained back, got the points that he needed. He was winning matches, not tying them, and he's in the top 4. He may make it into the final night. It's possible. So I think it was a good pick, and I think it plays well for him. He's also a past winner of the Premier League, so give him credit.
Absolutely.
So we've got majors that are going to start happening. Are you excited about any particular players, younger players that seem to be showing some skin? What about Danny Baggish? How do you feel about that? We've got like Jeff Smith starting to come on. Of course, he's a North Cadian, and, we here in America like our North Cadians, so we got to support them. But what do you think about those two guys?
Well, I've been very fortunate to actually have a little bit of contact with Danny Baggish via Twitter, just tweeting. And he was gracious enough to send me a autographed Target card and a set of his flights. And Danny, thank you so much. I sent him an instant reply and thanked him. Everything I've ever seen of Danny has been on YouTube. While I discovered you and becoming this crazy dart guy, I watched CDC. I watched anything I get my hands on that was Danny Baggish and Reyes and Lalby, and I just was like, oh my gosh. I mean, these are guys in my backyard throwing like this. So I am really pulling for Danny to have hopefully a nice just ascension when his A game shows up. Smith, and I don't know if you know this, Justin had spoken about his amazing stats on soft tip too. He'll play anything. He'll throw darts at anything. And I just like his style. I like his style. And I really hope he goes far. I know that he has his own business and then took on playing darts full time. I mean, that's what I guess we all aspire to, right? Get your ducks in a row, be successful, and do something.
Yeah. So I think he just froze up there, Mr. Holman. If you want to log out and log back in, that'd be great. I'll take it from here. Cha-ching. So yeah, in regards to Jeff Smith, you're back. Cool. I was going to say, in regards to Jeff Smith, yes, he owns an automotive business, which actually burnt down last year, I think, or the end of the year prior. And they've had to kind of rebuild that thing. And I give him huge credit for being able to run that with his team and play darts as well. My biggest problem with Jeff, and I love him to death, is the jerseys with the arrows that point to his personal dart. I think we need to change up the jerseys. Sorry. I mean, I know he's the silencer. Oh, he just left us. He'll be back though. So please comment, you guys, throw down the comments. But if you ever if you watch Jeff's new jerseys, the arrows are just not pointing in the right direction. So hopefully Mr. Holman will join us back, or maybe he just bailed and didn't like my comment and he's like, I'm out. But I think he'll be back with us here shortly. What do you guys think? Michael Holman interview. I know it's exciting. Like when he and I talked about doing this, I was ecstatic. I couldn't believe that he was up to the task of coming on and doing an interview. Outside of the fact that I know for a fact that the New York Times had asked for him to be there. So let's bring Mr. Holman back on. Hey, Michael, what's going on? So I don't know. Did you hear my comment about Jeff Smith and his jersey? Is that why you bailed on us?
Yeah, I think you were going down south like the arrow was pointing.
Yeah, I don't understand. He's got this jersey that points to his dart, and I just think he needs to eliminate that jersey. I don't get it. I just don't understand it. And if you haven't seen his jersey, watch. Well, you should hopefully watch this past weekend because he was playing, and maybe he did well. I don't know because it hasn't happened yet for us, but it has happened if you're watching this. Anyway, it's the time travel thing. So, well, again, Michael, it's been a blast having you on. Talk a little bit about, I just want to bring this up because I think it's cool because I think you guys are going to do it again. It's the Brother Benny's or Brother Benny's.
It's my brother. Right? It's my brother Vinny.
Okay.
And
should have known it's East Coast.
Yo, my brother Vinny. And my brother Vinny is a charity that my youngest son Kyle fell in love with. It's to help veterans when they come out of any situation, whether they leave the VA hospital, whether they leave active duty, and they're getting reacclimated into society and get their own digs, and they're having their own apartments. We can donate those great creature comforts that everyone needs to have a very comfortable living. And it's inexpensive. It goes a long way. And I got to tell you, we'll go on sites and help these veterans move furniture up into their flats. And they are the most appreciative people I've ever met. And they've got a place in everyone's heart. Our veterans are the reason why we have these freedoms. And my son has learned that very early in his life. He's going to be 16 in May. And I am so proud of him to have learned that lesson, to respect his elders and honor the veterans.
That's awesome. So this is a year-round thing then. It's not just kind of like the fall time like we talked about.
That is when we do our own personal drive, when my son Kyle reaches out. But all year round, we will go on site. Christmas time, we'll go to the VA with my brother Vinny and serve New Year's dinner, Christmas dinner. They're just amazing charity. And Paula is who runs that. I apologize, Paula, that your last name escapes me at the moment. But if you or anyone who's interested, if you go to My Brother Vinny on Facebook, and if you ever care to donate, it could be just a set of utensils, just creature comforts. That's all she asks.
Yeah. So yeah, and we will sneak you back on this show when that gets closer to talk more about it. Hopefully, we get your son to jump on as well, because this is really kind of his passion and drive.
That's
and
right.
We were excited to be able to help out this past year and looking forward to doing it again this upcoming. I'm curious, your love of darts, and you like to play late into the early wee mornings of the day for yourself. Have you ever thought about maybe doing a darts marathon to raise some monies?
Not a major marathon. Streaming, I'm a better guest than I am a host. It is really it's taken all my courage, I'll say, for my little dartathon on May 4th. So obviously, just from everyone watching this interview and you now knowing me, I've got a little bit of the gift to gab, but I have to rein it back in because I enjoy your streams. I enjoy Justin. I enjoy Ricky Jackson. I enjoy Marcus the Marksman, Niels, Scottish Lad. I enjoy being a part of their success because the platform is already there and they deserve support because I just don't have the guts.
Yeah. Well, I think you would be phenomenal. For sure at doing reviews or interviews or hanging out and chatting it up. You've got the voice for it, you got the personality for it. So I'm pretty sure we'll all be tugging at you to try and get into this at some point in time, or you just run around and do interviews and hang out. And commentating, is commentating in the wind for you? You going to be doing some commentating for anybody?
Tim Wagan and Chris Clark reached out to me from DPFL, and we did a little trial run. I did a little commentating on a Division II a match, and I got to say I enjoyed it immensely. I got to play off of Tim Wagan. He and I did it together, and I really, really enjoyed it. I think it's something that with a little bit of practice, some patience, and a little bit of schooling, I think it's something I could fall into. And certainly I would love to participate and help DPFL go to that next level, and just as a trial basis, because, I think they would love to have Mr. Coffee and Darts on their show.
Well, Mr. Coffee and Darts doesn't always remember when he's supposed to be doing commentating, and apparently this past week there was a championship darts matches on Wednesday that I apparently was supposed to be commentating, but I don't remember. Let's put it this way. There was a thing sent out. I saw it. I put a thumbs up like, hey, I'll do these particular ones. And then that was a couple of weeks ago. Things happened, and I didn't get like pinged on it. Anyway, Anthony Eugenia stepped in, as the professional that he is, and covered my butt because apparently I missed that, and they may not be asking me to come back and do them anymore. So if you're not busy on Wednesdays, and it's only a couple of times during the season, maybe you could jump in for me, because I think they've canned me. I don't know. I haven't found out yet. So could be happening. But yeah, I love what DPFL's doing. So that's fun. And I'm glad that they're bringing in some guys to do the commentating. They may not want me after I just said what I said. They may think I'm a flake, which is possible. But hey, Michael, I know it's getting to be evening time for you. Later time for you, and I want to be respectful of your time, so I just want to say thank you so much for coming on. Is there anything else you want to tell everybody, or can we end this?
I just want to say this will be airing on Tuesday. Tonight is Friday. Tomorrow is my beautiful, most wonderful wife, Jennifer Holman's birthday. I want to wish you a happy birthday, my love, and thank you all for watching. Matthew, thank you so much for everything that you do. You bring me entertainment, knowledge, and support, and I thank you.
You're quite welcome, and thank you so much for allowing me and allowing our show and our viewers to be able to enjoy your world premiere. You said no to everybody else, but you came on here onto Coffee and Darts, and I'm excited. This will go down as the best, the most watched and wonderful episode of Coffee and Darts, I'm sure. And I will frame this and put it up somewhere somehow. But hey, guys, thanks everybody for watching. And please make sure that you ping Mr. Michael Holdman in regards to going ahead and helping and donate for his little May the 4th be with you darts charity, raising funds for the Williams Foundation for Daniel Booth. So guys, do that. Hey, Michael, thanks so much for being on. I really appreciate it. And we will be seeing you typing away there. All right, so just hang on 1 second while I end this out. And again, thanks for being on. All right, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed that interview. It was a blast for me, and we got to talk a little bit afterwards. Michael's such a good guy, and I can arguably say I don't think there's a better human being out there supporting the darts community than Michael himself. He just is a true fan. He is a super fan, like he mentioned, and he's a super fan of multiple streamers out there and just people in general that are in the darts community. Love that guy. Really good guy. And I do see in the comments, yeah, I screwed up and kind of missed my my deal there. And the guys at DPFL, we talked about me doing some commentating for them, and I haven't gotten back to them. I've been kind of a flake the last week and a half. Been a lot going on in my life. So I apologize to you, Anthony, and to DPFL. So, but I'm straightening my crap up today. So we'll be good. Anyway, guys, thanks again for hanging in and watching this episode of Coffee and Darts and this interview. Look forward to next week. I've got a couple people that I'm kind of wrangling in to see if I can get them in for their first interview, as far as I know, ever. So we'll see what happens with that. And Mr. Holman, just I am watching right now. Mr. Whitlock is playing in the quarterfinals of Super. What are we in? What is this thing called again? Players Championship 12, whatever, Super Series 3, whatever we're at. So thanks, guys, for watching. See you guys next week, 7 a.m. for some more Coffee and Darts. Well, it's 7 a.m. for me. I don't know what time it is for you guys. You guys might be drinking the good drink. I'm having coffee that might be spiked. You never know. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'm going to take the kids to school right now and get my life going for the day. Thanks again for watching. I will see you guys in the socials. Have a good time. Oh, and May the 4th be with you. Please reach out to Michael if you want to donate onto that. We are going to match. We're really big on getting into this and trying to help this out. And if you've got an event coming up that's like this, or you're doing something and you want to come on the stream, or you just want to let me know so that I can put it out there to the darts community, we'll be happy to do that. Plus, the darts community, they love to get around other darts players and those in the community and help out, because that's what we're all about. Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful day. See you soon.